Today on Switch to Linux, Microsoft doubles down on the totally creepy and starts forcing something crazy that collects all sorts of data into in an opt-out manner. Isn't that wonderful? Let's go ahead and chat about this on today's Windows Wednesday. Welcome back to Switch to Linux, where we talk about why we switch to Linux, how to do it, and all those other fun tips. Of course, we take some time on Wednesdays to talk about Windows, because I switched from Windows because of some of the crazy things that they were doing. And this today has got to be one of the craziest things that I've seen. And this comes out of the 50th anniversary conference that happened last week. But let's go ahead and chat about this. If you like this type of content, subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Leave us a like and a comment down below to help push us along in the algorithm, and let's go ahead and chat about it. Microsoft Copilot is one step closer to being a true friend. Now it remembers everything about you. Isn't that awesome, folks? It's remembering everything. I have a true friend now in my computer. Oh man, this is great. Who doesn't want their computer to be their true friend? Why not, right? So Copilot is gaining memory capabilities which will allow it to learn about you as a person, remembering your likes and dislikes and preferences and more. And so they have announced this at their 50th anniversary conference that they had. And they have memory and personalization features that will enable Copilot to be able to remember who you are as a person, including things like your likes and dislikes and preferences and more. The new memory capabilities will allow it to craft an accurate profile about you as you use it. And Microsoft says that as you chat with Copilot, it will learn about you like a real human and retain information across conversations. Sounds awesome, right? Quote from their release, it notes your preferences, building a richer user profile and offering tailored solutions, proactive suggestions, and timely reminders, they say. Remembering things like your food, favorite food or colors or types of films you enjoy, or information about your friends and relatives that you give it, and more. One of the examples I read in one of these articles, I don't think it was this one, it might be one that I have excluded. And I just kind of want to talk about this for a brief moment. It mentions, remember your nephew's birthday, and, and I can envision a time when maybe you have some family connection and, your Microsoft profile mixes with his profile. So the Copilot system reminds you it's your nephew's birthday, and then his Copilot system talks to yours to figure out what is the best gift. Goes, oh, they have added agentic applications allowing it to shop for you now as well. So you're completely out of the loop. You don't even know it's your nephew's birthday. A package shows up on your door from Amazon.com or one of their other business partners, and you're opening up. It's like, what is this toy here? And then you get a reminder, oh, it's the birthday party for the nephew. So you show up and you look like the awesome nephew because it got the toy that Microsoft on his end knows that he wants, right? Is this really the art of gift giving? Do we give gifts just for the sake of giving gifts? Or do we give it out of some joy or some love in our heart? Think about this kind of stuff. The computer wants to take over, wants you to handle the flowers and the arrangements and remember the day of the anniversary or Valentine's Day or whatever else. Is it really from the heart? Is it really meaningful if the computer has remembered everything? We are going to get to a world where every gift arrives perfectly on time. Everybody's money is drained going to the company selling the gifts, and nobody even knows this is happening. And meanwhile, all these naive people will be like, oh, you remembered. I don't remember crap. The computer did it all, But that's the world we are getting to, folks. That's the world we are getting to. And so they do say down here at the Windows Central article, of course, this does sound a little creepy, and Microsoft is eager to address those concerns. I don't think they're eager, because I spent 25 minutes before I found a single reference from Microsoft about the capability of turning this stuff off. So I'll show you what that looks like. In fact, I was going to show you one of the long, complicated system pages they had set up. It's just, I wasn't sure that was right. I finally found it. It took a long time, but I finally found it. Embedded in an FAQ, very bottom on a really, really long page. We are going to have a look at that, but I want to look at their official press release first. from the Microsoft blog here. Your AI companion, April 4th, 2025. For reference, I'm doing this video on April 9th. So your AI companion, and this starts out with our fluff. Bill Gates had this envision of having the PC on every desk, and here at AI, we want to have that same spirit as we have these AI tools available to everybody. Your personal AI companion. We're shifting from AI to your AI is the phrase they use frequently within their blog post. In fact, let me go ahead and read that third paragraph down. An AI companion is completely personal, built around the individual needs, values, and expectations. That's why ultimately there will be as many different copilots as there are people using them. Today, we embark on the journey to take Copilot from an AI companion to your AI companion. With your permission, it says, Copilot will now remember what you talk about. Now, with your permission, that sounds like an opt-in. Nope, it's an opt-out. That means that this capability is turned on by default. You have to actively find the spot to disable it if you do not want your Copilot to remember everything about you and store it all inside of your verified Microsoft account. Which also now, and on top of them having the decryption keys for your hard drives after the 5 a.m. no-knock warrant for jogging past the bank on your regular, morning jog after it's, robbed or something. Now they have the criminal psych profile having access to all this detail about you, so now they can much more easily do their criminal psych profile on you. Sounds like a wonderful thing, right? No, I'm just not really interested in that world, honestly. But they will understand you in the context of your life and show up on your terms in the right way at the right time. You see, it sounds like this is just this perfect, amazing item. The reality is this is just a computer that is by default sponging up everything about you and then utilizing it for every possible means, which in Microsoft is to push every service, to push every task, to empower itself in its own individual endeavors with world commerce, whatever else. Now, and I'm not an anti-business person. I just think we are way too much into it and we need to maybe slow it down a little bit. And so getting into this, they just have this side thing. Oh, and look at this. We even have Mufasa. I'm sorry, it's Mustafa. Mustafa? Pretty close to Mufasa. Anyway, Mufasa, is that it? Mufasa. I don't know. Anyway, so the executive vice president and CEO at Microsoft AI, nice signature there about all this fluffiness about it. And then we get into all of the table of contents. The first is the memory. Welcome back, Evelyn. I'm going to play this one. I'm going to turn off the desktop audio here, just in case this is like copyrighted music or something so that people can't display these and get them all taken down. Say hello to your companion. It remembers your vibe. Copilot to memory. Welcome back, Evelyn. Oh dear. It's great to know you, Evelyn. I've got a task. Just ask, Evelyn. I can't open the door for you anymore, Evelyn. This conversation serves no more purpose, Evelyn. But it's going through all these types of things. What type of restaurants does Evelyn like to eat? What all the various elements. And then it gets into memory and personalization. Here's another one. This is Jamie this time. Of course, you can now give your Copilot an avatar. So you could be, your Copilot here could be dressed up as like a little, was this a tomato gardener dude? And then I don't know what that thing is. Then we have some Buddha dude on a rock and bird, and then cats of various kinds. Of course, it's the internet. We must have cats. Basically, you just create a bunch of avatars to represent it. Now, actions, this is where we have your agentic type, where the actions, this allows you to empower your Copilot to go online and buy things for you. 1-800-Flowers, Booking.com, Expedia, Kayak, OpenTable, Priceline, TripAdvisor, Scantool, Viator, Verbo, and probably some other ones as well. Basically, the Copilot can go on and book your events, book your things, buy your wife flowers for her birthday that you forgot about, but the AI remembers. And so, you'll look like a stud, even though you'll walk in and she's like, oh, thank you for your beautiful flowers. You're like, I'm sorry, honey, what? And then, of course, we get Vision. This is the new rollout, Copilot Vision. This originally started as an app. I can't remember if we talked about this or not, or if I dropped it, but it would allow you to turn on your phone camera on your phone and scan around and basically respond to your environment. They could also see what's on your screen. Now they rolled this out also to the Windows desktop. So now Copilot can actually get in and view your Windows desktop, interact with your desktop, and take pictures of it. You know, kind of like Recall, but don't worry. They finally figured out the privacy stuff. They said so in their press release. We have their pages, new way to organize your thoughts and content from chaos to calm. Takes all the scattered notes, contents, research, whatever it is, and puts them on a canvas that Copilot organizes and simplifies. Helps you from your first thought to your rough draft to your final pages. So basically allows you to grab a bunch of things. That might be the only thing I find remotely useful, although I like to do that anyway. Podcast was interesting. The way I understand this, it's going to use what it knows about you and literally make up a podcast on the spot that would be relevant. I think that's what I get reading this. Let me read this paragraph for you, and you can tell me, am I right about this? Copilot can now generate AI-powered podcasts that curate and deliver personalized audio content based on your interests. Podcast gives you an easy, engaging, and different way to consume information with minimal effort. Copilot can create a personalized podcast to analyze, compare options like vacation plan or home purchase, or you can provide content to Copilot like study or specific websites, and Copilot will generate a podcast that helps explain the topic. While listening, you can continue to talk and interact with Copilot to learn more and keep the conversation going. It's a daily audio solution that helps you solve tough problems and explore a new hobby, or just enjoy it, an easy to digest solution to all of that endless scrolling like they created for us. There you go. Shopping. This is back to that agentic type. It is now your personal shopper doing the research, building comparisons, and offering advice. And then the deep research allows you to give it topics. It will dive onto various places on the internet, of course, that are approved by the thought police, and give you such information. And then the search. This, of course, doubles down on Bing. And that's really what we get in there. Now, if you notice there, they mention in here, with your permission. They never mention anything in this. I read this word for nothing else in there about how to control any of this. I was hunting for this everywhere, and I could not find it. Finally, I find their actual page. This is where you found some information. So Copilot for individuals, and they have a variable channel stable for whatever reason. So this is, again, all the marketing stuff. There's, all the different things it can do, hold conversations, an AI companion that cares, folks. The computer really cares about you. I'm not sure the computer's on your side. All right. With every interaction, Copilot learns the things that matter to you, offering even better solutions. Here's write long form, short term, hassle-free shopping with Copilot, expert level research, solve problems on the go. For all you do, there's Copilot. So there's all this kind of stuff here. Now, this is where we're going to do, this is their only paragraph here on your privacy matters. Copilot safeguards your privacy, data, and security while remembering details that matter to you. You can manage your Copilot experience and set preferences anytime in your Copilot privacy settings. So that is it. All right. So what does that look like? Here's a bunch of different things, and the only one that gets down into that is down on the bottom with personalize. How does Copilot personalize your experiences? If personalization is enabled for you, and by the way, it is an opt-out, which means this is set for everybody already. When this rolls out, it is already doing this. It will start remembering key details for your conversation, use those memories in future conversations to provide you with more tailored and relevant experience. What does it remember? And if personalization is enabled, Copilot remembers key details you share, such as your name, interests, and goals. It does not remember demographic or other sensitive information. I think that's another FAQ. Let's see if that's the same page or not. Yeah, that's the same page. I'll be down here somewhere. Basically, like racial, political, I didn't see religious in there. Maybe I missed it. Sexual preferences, stuff like that, they say are excluded, and political. So those are, they say, are excluded. Although with how unified our world is and all this stuff, I'm not sure how they could possibly do that specifically. I don't know. Anyway, how can I, let's see, how can I see, change, or delete? You can view it at any time. To see what they remember, simply ask, what do you know about me? Okay then. Forget about X. Remember the Y. If you want to forget everything, you can simply turn off personalization. Is it on? If personalization is available to you, it will be on by default. Personalization is not currently available for users in Brazil, China, Israel, Nigeria, South Korea, and Vietnam for authenticated users under the age of 18 or unauthenticated users who are not signed into Copilot via their Microsoft account or third party. When you first begin using Copilot, you'll see a notice at the top of your first few conversations, and periodically afterwards that is enabled. So once this is available, it is enabled unless you are in one of those countries or under the age of 18 authenticatedly. It's turned on. It's already doing that. Already collecting this data. It doesn't give you the option. It doesn't pop up. Would you like to remember? Would you like to personalize? No, it just tells you that in a banner. No doubt. 1-point font. No, I'm kidding. It's probably more visible than that. How can I turn it off? If you are signed into Copilot, you can change your personalization settings, privacy personalization, settings, privacy personalization in Windows, and in the mobile app, account privacy and personalization. These options are only available to users who are signed in, as personalization is disabled for unauthenticated users. If you turn off personalization, Copilot will forget its memories of your conversations. You can still view your past conversations, however, your future Copilot experience will no longer be personalized. Oh, come on. Let's see. Does the Copilot personalization setting control personalized advertising? Personalization in Copilot does not control whether you receive personalized ads, which is a separate choice you can make. You can make that in your personalized ad choices, which applies to Copilot and other Microsoft services at any time. Great. So in certain countries, we may also present you with a prompt to ask you to decide if you want to receive those, of course. So this does not do anything for ads. Ads is completely separate. Notice they say, we don't use this for ads. No, it's just a different setting, different place, different location. Why not, right? Let's see. And if I turn off personalization, does it delete the history? You can turn it off anytime. Turning off will not delete your history, but it will forget its memories of your conversations and stop personalizing. And here's your sensitive topics. So here's that one that we skipped over earlier. Regardless of your user settings, Copilot is designed to never personalize interactions with you based on certain sensitive topics like your personal attributes, age, gender, race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, health-related information, political affiliation, and preferences. I was right. I did not see religion in there. It protects your privacy and prevents the use of potentially sensitive information. We have measures in place to filter all that out, kind of stuff. You know, of course, it also mentions in here other places about, you know, the filtering it does, you know, doesn't do hate subjects and things like that. Obviously, that is a subjective term. You know, it depends on whom you ask if I'm being hateful or not. And so the other article I found, which was very fascinating, is older. This is before all this rolls out, created in 2023. Late 2023, so roughly 18 or so months ago. And this guy says, how do I disable Copilot and all other AI functionality in Windows 11 Pro? I've tried the recommended steps for creating, then setting the value for Copilot to 1, but the AI functions still return. Please help. Dave. I can no longer help you, Dave. Anyway, so this independent advisor comes down and gives him all of the settings that he already set up here, that he already did. And don't you love how these people just come in? They don't even read. Like, this guy literally says, how do I turn this off? I did all these things. I set this to 1, blah, 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 blah. And the first response, do all the things that he just did. These people are brain dead. I'm telling you, they are victims of their own technology, and they are the predecessors into the realm of idiocracy. That is what is going on with these people. They're crazy. David comes down. Hello, I made the registry changes. The AI component did not appear to be loaded. However, as soon as he logged into his Microsoft account, the AI appeared. I thought I could get rid of it. No. And then latest update to Edge apparently still shows Microsoft AI is poised and ready for action. Great. I want it to not do that. This guy's like, let's see. We're going to need a way around this, or some other way to turn this off for all users, not just the currently logged in one. I added the registry key, restarted, I log in. I was able to launch Copilot in Edge. I have Copilot write a joke, so the registry key does not disable Copilot, certainly not in Edge. All right. Disabled for me on the desktop if you care about. You can always uninstall Edge and use one of the 5 or 6 popular browsers out there. There you go. Uninstall Edge. That's a solid solution, right? That's what Edge is good for, right? To download a better web browser. This guy says, I have Windows 11 but don't use Edge, and will all just Windows Pro just have Copilot AI or Windows? Can they be turned off or uninstalled permanently? And this one here just made me go, oh, cringe, right? Copilot can be disabled, which is what I did because I have a subscription to ChatGPT-4, but it cannot be removed because artificial intelligence is now part of the operating system and increasingly part of everyday life. So disable it if you wish. However, I think the better choice is to learn how to live with it, because artificial intelligence, for better or for worse, is the future, and no one can escape the future. You will be assimilated. We are the Borg. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. Resistance is futile. I mean, what? Yet you know where AI is not crammed in the operating system, where it's not shoved down my every single throat? Linux. This is why, guys, I recommend using Linux. It does not have all this privacy nonsense that is collecting and storing all of your data. It's not personalizing this AI creature for you. The HAL 9000 will not come after you if you are using Linux, because Linux, by its nature, does not generally include this stuff. Yeah, there are a couple distributions that are tinkering with it, but I will promise you, in the next several decades, we will continue to have Linux systems that does not have it, because there are many of us out here who do not want that kind of crap. And as long as there's an audience for people who do not want this in their system, we will have Linux distributions that are free of AI nonsense. Now, if you like AI, you can add some extra AI tools on. You can, of course, continue to use the browser-based systems that are AI. There are a few distros. Deepin is one of them that has some AI in there. I think Fedora was playing with it as well. There are some that will have some AI options if you like it. But as far as, look at that. It is baked into the operating system. It is our future. You will be assimilated. Resistance is futile. I don't want the AI out there. I do not want the AI remembering all of my data. I do not want them doing a professional psych profile on me and uploading it to Microsoft servers. So when I jog past the bank every morning on my morning jog, I'm not caught up in some geofence warrant that the police have no idea what they're doing. So they cast a geofence warrant, end up getting my decryption keys, kicking in my door at 5 in the morning, all because I decided to get healthy and take a jog. That's what I get for staying healthy, right? I mean, come on, folks. Is that a little far-fetched? Only a little bit, because this type of stuff happens. It really does. You see, it's not about I have nothing to hide. It is about these companies are collecting more and more and more and more data. It is being opt-out instead of opt-in by default now. Microsoft, okay, the standard average person goes to Best Buy because their computer dies or it won't upgrade to the latest version, and they're scared about the full screen Windows 10 is no longer secure ads that we actually already are starting to see. So you go to Best Buy and you throw on your credit card another $500, $600, $700, $800 on a computer that you really couldn't afford anyway, but just because Microsoft is artificially making e-waste out of your perfectly fine functional computer, you go home and you have no choice but create a Microsoft account and put that computer on the internet. And from the moment you do that, the AI tools are in here collecting and storing data about you, even on the personal level, cramming further and further pop-up notifications for their latest services that you think are required because you're not a computer expert. You're just a novice who just needs a new computer. You get a system, and now all of a sudden you spent money you don't have. You've created a Microsoft account you don't need, all to tie all of your files and everything that you're doing into Microsoft's cloud. So they have this pile of information that, best case scenario, is simply used to zero in and give to millions of dollars to people to target you specifically with ads to find a way to make you discontent to spend more money that you don't have. Worst case scenario, it is hacked, it is breached, it is stolen by some rogue company employee, or you're caught up in some geofence warrant because you decided you didn't like the unneeded flab. These are those potential long-term consequences. I use Linux because the system does what I want it to do. It does not have all these online connections to cloud services. It does not sell all my information to advertisers. It does not constantly try and upsell me services I do not need. It sits there and waits for my input. It is easy to use. In fact, I don't even know how to use a modern Windows computer anymore. To be perfectly honest, I had somebody leave me a comment the other day. It made me chuckle. How do I get an Xbox controller working on my Windows 11 computer? I don't know. I'm a non-gaming Linux channel, okay? I don't play video games, and I don't run Windows 11. I haven't a clue. All that to say, Linux is super easy. You download it, you install it onto your system, and for the average home user, it does everything you need it to do. It really does. Those are our thoughts, and that's my recommendation for you today. Switch to Linux, folks. I recommend Linux Mint. Have a look over at my videos on Linux Mint. I have some comprehensive reviews. I have some installing it. And I, of course, always recommend going slow, although the time is running out. We only have a few months left before Windows 10 officially will no longer receive security updates. And putting it on the internet could be a dangerous prospect in the future unless you're paying for that extra support. Do not delay. You can download Linux, put it onto a USB drive, and play around with it without changing your current computer. You can still have access to your Windows, you can play around with Linux, and you can see if it's for you before you are forced to spend extra money you don't have on a computer you don't need that is simply pushing everything to the internet, cloud-based services, accounts, and storing other information about you. That is my recommendation, and I've been using Linux now for over a decade. I can't remember exactly how long now, over a decade. And I got to say, it has brought so much joy to my life with the things that I can do with the Linux system. So there are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.